Am I strong enough to bear the burdens that sometimes come living this thing called life? Am I wise enough to make the right decisions when I'm standing at the fork in the road? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. Will I have enough to do the things I need to do to take care of myself? Will I have the health of mind and body to live a life of grace and wholeness? Sometimes I wonder and ponder, only to realize I'm not alone, and there's nothing I have to do on my own, because I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You
lives,
are the place.
moves and breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place
I am the place
where God shows up. I am the place.
I am the place where God
You are the place.
moves and breathes and has
We
its
are the
being.
place
I am the place
where God shows up. I want you to clap your hands and sing it with me. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Eddie Watkins, can I have some more of that? Can we have some more of that?
We are the place where God shows up, aren't we? Yes. Yay. Good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center, Spokane, where we are all about our mission of transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in our world. My name is Amber McKenzie, and I will be your platform assistant this morning. If everyone could please take a moment to silence your cell phones, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. And as always, we want to begin our time together by sharing our opening affirmation. I will say it once and then ask you to repeat it with me. There is only one presence and one power, active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. Together, there is only one presence and one power, active in my life and in the universe, God the Good. This is Unity's foundation principle. One presence, one power, one life, living through and as each and every one of us. This morning, we are super excited to be hearing from our transformational speaker and a friend and colleague of mine, Chris Angell. Yay, Chris. And his message titled, Everyone a Leader. Chris is a passionate business leader in our community, and he specializes in helping people and businesses find the soul and the spirit within themselves so that it can be expressed through their business and their lives. So I'm just very excited that he's here today. I will be leading us in today's meditation, which will happen after Chris's message. But first, we need to get to our news you can use. So as always, we just ask that you sign up for our e-newsletter if you want to find out what's happening here at Unity Spiritual Center. Lots of things are happening. We share our events, classes, upcoming speakers, anything that's going on, we put in our e-news. So if you can just scan that QR code, that'd be great, and you can sign up that way, or you can sign up on our website, or you can come see me after services, and I will sign you up. We try to make it very easy. Okay, and I'm so happy that Tara Weir is here because she is going to come up and give a little talk about our orientation that is happening today after services. And she's friends with Chris too. Love it.
Yes.
Good morning.
Yes, Chris Angell helped transform my business for sure. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I'm Tara Weir, and I am the Spirit and Action Council Coordinator. And today I get the pleasure of inviting all of you to come to our Unity orientation. We used to call it the new member, we called it the community member. Now we just want to invite everybody. So if you're interested in learning more just about Unity's basic principles, about our organization, about what we're up to, how we're structured and how things are moving forward, then please come join us. It will be in the chapel over there at 11:30. So we'll look forward to seeing you there. If you have any questions, I'll be hanging around until then, and then I'll be in there. So thank you. Thanks.
Ms. Tara? Okay, one more thing. I am very excited to introduce you to our newest staff member who will be sharing today's center update about the bookstore remodel. He is officially our interim facilities manager, and he is the one and only Mr. Gary Locke. Come on up, Gary.
Yeah, that was good. Well, just to let you know, we do have contractors in place to start doing some of the work. They'll start on about I think it's the end of the month, the 25th of this month. First thing we'll do that the sheetrock will all be repaired. There's quite a few nail holes and stuff. There's several of us here, Doug Ladwig and I and Gary Isler and a couple others have been kind of prepping everything, pulling nails, taking all the pictures down, getting that stuff ready. And once we're through the sheetrock repair part of it, our own Ryan Sawyer will be doing the painting for us. And then Jeff Tawney has volunteered his time to do the baseboard installation. We'll supply the materials and he will kind of direct that part of it. He kind of does that anyway. So that's where we're at with what's going on right now. We'll try to get things like doors hung and kind of get us back to going in the direction that we want to be with the bookstore. There's still some things going on in the background as far as paint colors, flooring for the bathroom. Those items will be decided by the board and some members here that will pick colors. Don't expect me to pick colors. My wife will confirm that. If there's any questions on it, see me after the service and I'll be happy to answer them.
It's the cry of a baby, the whisper in prayer, it's voices and laughter. It's the wind in the stillness and the spaces between. It's a spark of fire.
I didn't want that to end. She could rock. Yeah, she rocked it. I love her voice. She does this little like a rock star head bob thing. I'd like to see everybody for just a moment do a rock star head bob thing. Ready? All right. It's thanks for having me, by the way. It's such an honor to be here, and it's always an honor to be asked to share your heart and what you feel like life has taught you, and that's what I want to share today. So, my name is Chris Angell. I grew up in Portland, but went to school at PLU in Tacoma. I got into real estate for 6.5 years before I moved to Spokane to run a real estate company. Did that for 5 years. My kids were in the school district by that time, and we thought, well, let's not move away because the schools are so great. And so we just stayed, and we've been here since 2007. So we live right down 195 behind the Par 3 golf course, and been there since 2010. Before that, we lived in the valley for 3 years. But anyway, it's been great to be here, and it's really cool to find a place like Unity because it's really hard to find a place to gather as a community that looks like this, that shares these values. There are lots of places that you can go that aren't as open. I'll say it that way. What I appreciate about Unity's values, I read your website, I went to unity.org and read its website, and all of what is on there resonates exactly with what I've come to learn about life, like what life has taught me. So it's really fun to find a place where you can, when you believe those things, but there isn't quite a place for you to gather, that you could find a place like this to do that. It's really cool. All right, well, I want to talk about leadership with you. It's funny, every time I speak to a new group, there's a little bit of nervousness, and part of that is because I don't know you, right? And part of that is because I wonder if you'll accept me, and part of that is I wonder if my message will resonate with you. And so there's always this, what I know is once I get present to you, it's all good. But until that moment, there's this nervousness that comes in, and the reason I say that is because we are all leaders, I believe, but a lot of times it's that nervousness that prevents us from taking that first step to engage people in the things that life has taught us. And so we often hold back in our nervousness rather than lean forward with the things that life has taught us because it's nervous, right? It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to put yourself out there. And so I don't think I need to tell you intellectually that everyone is a leader. I think you could get that, especially based on the things that you say, right? I am the presence of God, I am the love of God, I am the light of God, which we'll talk about. But so intellectually we get that. But then there's something, if we looked at our own individual lives, you could probably, if you did an assessment, you could probably be like, there are ways I could be taking bigger steps than maybe I am in my leadership, right? In my love of God, in that I'm the light of God, in that I'm the presence of God. That could show up in a bigger way if I allowed it. Is that fair? Yeah, and so that's why I say, like, I guess this talk was really inspired by wanting to champion the hearts and souls of everybody that I get to encounter with, if you could really step into a bigger version of the light and love and presence of God that you are, what would it look like? What would you do with it? Who would you do it for? And I think each of us, if we went and journaled about that for a bit, there would be something that would inspire you. Like it wouldn't occur like a to-do list. It would actually occur like, it would actually have this thing that pulls you into your future because you're inspired about the service it would provide for others. And it would resonate with the you know you are. See, sometimes what happens is I spend a lot of my life feeling like I'm behind. Do you know what I mean? Like I've had big vision for a long time, but out of my fears, out of not feeling like I'm big enough or good enough, I've felt behind. And the problem with that is that's not actually the truth of it. That's just the story I make up about it. The truth of it is that if I am the light of God, the love of God, the presence of God, the power of God, if I am that, then when I get in alignment with that, then I can feel the power that I am. When I am not in alignment with that, you feel behind. You feel unproductive. You feel small. You feel obsolete. And the way that compounds then is you can start to look outside of yourself at all those who have bigger results than you, bigger followings than you, louder voices than you, deeper research than you. Thanks, Brene Brown. Like there are these people who they have a body of work, and you're like, well, who am I? Somebody beat me to the punch. Like, what's the point? So there are 2 points. One point is you do it because it makes you come alive. You don't do it for the results necessarily. Like, you can, and that's great. Results are great. But in the scope of your life, there's a body of work that gets built and created if you start now. And that body of work, more than serving others, is about serving you. Serving the light, the love, the power, and the presence that you are. That's part of it. That's the part where you go and you put your head on your pillow at night and you feel good about the work you did today because it was an expression of the self you know you are. So, and I think the second point there, I don't think I said that, but the second point is that you're doing it for others, right? That there is actually this ripple effect that happens when you show up in your love, light, power, and presence for others. It gives them permission to show up in their love, light, power, and presence for themselves. This is the trickle-down effect, right? Like, when I'm transparent, even though I don't have all the results and all the credentials and all the things the society measures leadership by, when I don't have all that, but I show up in my love, light, power, presence, what happens is it gives you permission. So you feel like, okay, if he can do it, I can do it. And this is how we, in the words of Ram Dass, walk each other home. This is how we walk each other home. I think the world is tired of pedestals. Like, what we do is we put leaders on pedestals. And then that creates a bigger divide between us and them. But if who we are, and this is why I want to redefine leadership, if who we are is everyone a leader, then this is how we walk each other home. That's the new definition of leadership, is you and I walking each other home, that the leadership is in the walking home, right? Okay, so I've sort of organized my thoughts that I want to share with you this way, so let's see where we get to. I always like to start with some type of a context framing. And so I want you to imagine or lean into that we are all the leading edge of consciousness. So if we're all spirit first, if we're spiritual beings, right, having a physical experience, then before you ever got here, you looked down, let's just pretend that, you, in all of the energy of it all, you looked down on the world and you were like, I'm going to go down there. And I'm going to, hey, watch this, hold my beer. I'm going to go down there and watch this. And you, in a sense, as consciousness, you are a pioneer in physical form. That if you think about every soul incarnated in a physical form on planet Earth, what's the population? 7 billion? Okay, that's 7 billion pioneers in consciousness. Because you had the courage to incarnate here. You had the courage to say, I'm going to go there now and do whatever it is that wants to be done. But then here's the problem with that. Actually, hang on. Let me do one more. Let me do this side, and then I'll get there to the problem. I love that in one of your final slides that you end your service with, you say, let there be peace and let it begin with me. Like, pretend that for a moment that's what you said before you incarnated. You're like, hey, I'm going to go down there. Let there be peace. Right? And let it begin with me. I mean, that's pretty audacious. That's pretty bold. That's pretty amazing. And what's interesting about that is when I was making the slide and I thought, wouldn't that be interesting if that's what we said before we got here? It's one thing to say it once you're here. Like I'll tell you how I related to it before I thought about saying it in consciousness. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. And how I tend to think about that is, let me say the right prayers, let me have the right meditations, let me put out the right vibe, let me do those things. But when I think about it from before I was incarnated, before I came here in this physical form, it feels much bigger, like the vision's bigger, what I want to do with it is bigger. Like if I'm the light, the power, the presence, and the love of God, well, what would I do with that? What would that really look like if it expressed itself? I think we have a lot of conditions that we've put on it, and that's the problem. Look, the problem is you somehow in the cosmic design of things, you are born and then you sort of forget all that. and you learn to walk, and you get cultured by, the rights and wrongs that your parents gave you, and then society kind of goes to work on you, and it tells you what's right and wrong, and pretty soon we've lived a life that wasn't what we intended, maybe, as love, light, power, and presence. We sort of like conformed to what was acceptable or comfortable for others. Did anybody? This may just be me because I have high energy when I'm fully self-expressed. I can tamp it down if I need to, but when I really feel like I have permission, I can be pretty out there. Has anybody ever in life been told to tone it down? Like, hey, this isn't appropriate right now. Don't do that again. Yeah, so this is my point, right? This is where we lead from. This is where we lead from. We lead from the tamped down version of what's acceptable to people, because if the world really got the full dose of you, that would be uncomfortable for people. So, on the other side of that problem of forgetting who we are, there's an opportunity. The opportunity is to find the leader that you really are, that you already are, that you really are, right? That you already are and really are. You feel deeply, I just wrote this down for you, but you feel deeply connected to this thought and this saying of love, light, power, and presence that you are, because you've found your unique expression, and here's the key point. You found your unique expression in the vision that you have, that you uniquely have, the message that is connected to that vision, and the people that it's meant for. If all we do in leadership is, I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying there's a better expression for you. Like what tends to happen if I look through my Facebook feed, a lot of people will share other people's quotes. It's very common. It's easy. Something resonates with you. You're like, oh, that's so great. And then you share it, for example. And that's awesome because you're sharing something forward that resonated with you. And there is something that you would say to the world if you felt like you had permission to do so. And it wouldn't be the same quote that you just shared. It would be your own thing that you want to say to the world. And that typically comes from somewhere inside of what life has taught you. Life has taught you something. And that's the thing that if you shared it, you'd start to see others who resonate with it. But like I said in the beginning, you can get nervous because you don't know how it's going to be received. You don't know if people are going to get you. You don't know if it's too much. Are you too much? So part of reconnecting to the leader that you are is about, for me, what helped was starting to dig into what is my vision, like what is my expression in vision, and what do I want to say about that vision, and who is that vision for? And all of a sudden I started to find my own body of work. Rather than pining for or wishing that my work was like Brene Brown's work, which I just love, so good, I started to lean into in fact, watch this. We do this all the time. Just yesterday, a friend of mine has another friend who flew to Ukraine to go help people in the lines, right, in the refugee lines. They're going, they're getting supplies, they're buying blankets, they're doing all of this very practical stuff. And for a split second, I thought, wow, that's more noble than my work. That's better than my work. It's more important than my work. And I found I've been, look, self-awareness is an ongoing journey, and I've been pretty good about honoring my work in the world. But for a moment, there was like my work's not good enough, their work is more important than mine. And we do this all the time. And it doesn't feel good, right? Like you start to judge your work compared to somebody else's work, and then you're like, well, I'm going to take my toys and go home because I don't want to play, right? Like, it doesn't feel good to have my work feel diminished because I compared it to somebody else's work as more meaningful. So, look, the meaning in it comes when you can attach to your vision. Because if you don't have a vision, then what you do is you look at what everybody else is doing with their vision and you judge your whatever you are as not enough. So, your vision, and then when you start to, here's the other piece about that, when you start to speak the message attached to that vision, there is a knowing, a confidence that starts to come through about who you are in the world. What's your voice in the world? And if you don't use that voice, so what happens is you look at other people's voices and you go, wow, they say it so well. I wish I could say it like that. And then when you never start sharing, the path from here to alignment gets wider and wider. It's the process of iterating that message over time, just speaking what there is to say, that over time builds your confidence in the message and the vision that you have to share. And then, like I said, the third piece is, for my background's real estate, so for a long time I've always been interested in spiritual growth and personal development, and so I would talk to real estate agents about how to market their business in a way that wasn't about open houses and listings and real estate stuff, because nobody cares about that. Unless you're in a 6-month window of when that's important to you. For the buying cycles, like every 7 to 9 years, people buy a house. For 7 to 9 years, I don't care about your open house, right? So I was like, why don't you have a higher altitude conversation with people that would connect with their soul? Because if you were a real estate agent who connected with my soul, that'd be really interesting to me. But if you're one who talks to me for 7 years about open houses, not interesting to me. Right? So I was sharing with agents about, look, speak from what your soul wants to say to people, and it just didn't land. Right message, wrong people. When you start to share and you share it with the right people, what happens is there's alignment, there's connection, right? There's congruence. It's like now right people, right message, right people, they can pick up what you're putting down. And they go, wow, thanks for that. That was so meaningful to me. And you're like, oh, so I'm not crazy. I thought I just had all these ideas and nobody got them. And that's how I felt for a long time. I'm like, it feels right. The thing is, it feels right in your gut. You're like, this can't be wrong. This thing life has taught me, it can't be wrong. And then you go share it with the wrong audience, and you're like, maybe it is wrong. I don't know. Head scratcher. Like, I don't get it. Crickets. But then you share it you find the right people, and it changes everything. And you're like, okay, now we can go somewhere. This is what my life is for. So, I want to give you a mindset, and then I want to show you the 4 pieces, like how would you move this into the world. So a mindset that is attached to this perspective of leadership is back to the Ram Dass quote, which is we're all walking each other home. That's all leadership is. It's not results. It's not credentials. It's not results. None of that. It's simply you having the courage to lead. It's you having the courage to speak from your lived experience. Life teaches you every day. Share that. What did you learn today? Share that. What did you learn 10 years ago? Share that. Because there's someone that serves. And the someone that it serves, if it serves them, by definition, they are your tribe. Like, they are your people. If they have ears to hear it, then those are your people. So you're going to share, and there's going to be a lot of people that don't hear it. They don't have ears to hear it. And then but you keep sharing, because that's the work. You keep sharing what life is teaching you. And then one by one, slowly but surely, you'll start to find those who do resonate with that message, and those are your people. So if I gave you some methods, if I gave you what do we do, how would we move this out into the world? There's 4 pieces that can make this tangible for you and not just, inspirational for you. One is what I call your premise. So here's how I call this a prompt. The prompt in your journal would simply be something like, when blank happens, the world will change. So from where you sit, from what life has taught you, you have a particular point of view about when this happens, the world will change. You might say, look, when parents love their kids fully, the world will change. You might say, when people really live in love, the world will change. I might say, when business people begin to speak what life has taught them rather than stupid marketing things, the world will change, right? And each of you have your own premise about what would cause the world to change. And so once you can find that seed of what creates change in the world, that's unique to you because of what life taught you. So that's where it starts. It starts with a premise. Sometimes vision can be too big. If you start with vision and not a premise, it's too swirly. It's too all over the place. So start with, what do you think would change the world? That's your premise. Okay. Number two then would be, what's the vision to that premise? So if I say something like, when business people begin to speak what they're, from their lived experience, the message they want to say to the world will change. What comes to mind about how that would unfold? What does that look like? What do I want to do based on my gifts, my abilities, the things that turn me on? Like, what does that look like? So, for example, like I have a vision of having dream centers across the country. Now, this is huge, so don't laugh at me, right? Don't shame me. I have this dream of dream centers across the country that are beautiful commercial buildings where holistic practitioners, life coaches, healers, anybody in transformational work can come and have community together in this space where not only do they get built up and encouraged in business, but they get to network with one another as they go out into their communities. That's really big. I'm nowhere near that. But I'm so excited about it that it keeps pulling me forward. And it gives me some places to start. Like, where do I go to work now? So you, just go look at the things that are inspiring to you. And what would be fun for you. Not a to-do list for you, because nobody needs another to-do list. But what would be fun? I love architecture. I think that's part of it. Like, on my Pinterest board, I just so many different cool commercial buildings. And I'm like, I couldn't have just one. I need many. Because I just want to play in the design of it all. And I don't want to help just a community here. I want to help a community everywhere. So, I don't know. I let my mind just go crazy with that, and I saw where that vision took me. So go look for what that is for you, and then don't judge it. Don't shame it. Don't judge it. Just let it sort of blossom. Okay. The third piece of that would be then, what's the message attached to it? Like, if that's the premise, and then there's the vision of it, what's the message for the people it's meant for? And I think, like, if I look at my example, your message often is in response to where people stop themselves. So if mine is for business people to speak from what life has taught them, from their soul, to inspire other people in their soul, I would look at how so many times they're not saying what they really want to say. And so my message starts to come from, how do you speak what you want to say? How do you do that? And that's built into my message. What is your message? What has life taught you, and what is your message? Okay. And then the fourth piece would be, and by the way, and then with that, you just have to start speaking it. Just start, you could write it, you could say it, you could do a video about it, whatever, but start moving that message out into the world. Okay. And the fourth piece then is what I call your tribe. It's like your people. Who are your people, right? It says, find those headed in the same direction. I spent a lot of my younger years in business trying to convince those who I felt I had to win over. And what I didn't realize was there were already people who were predisposed to the direction I was headed. Does this make sense? Like, they're already lined up that way. They're already going where I'm going, and I just didn't know that because I thought I was a freak. I thought I was like, the only one who had these crazy ideas. But when I started to realize there are other people who are interested in transformational conversations, and they like talking about deep things like this, and they're in business, I'm like, let's go talk to them. And it made me feel at home in my message. If you have a message and you're speaking to people who don't get it, you don't feel at home in your message. But when you start sharing it with others who want to share it with you, all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, we got something here. So finding the fastest path to finding your tribe is this. Here's a shortcut. You are your tribe. Your goals are their goals. Your fears are their fears. Your values are their values. Like, you are your tribe. And so what's so cool about that is now you can just be you. You don't have to puff and posture. You don't have to be something you're not. You don't have to twist and contort to what you think is expected. You just get to be all the crazy that you are and watch people who are wired like you connect with you. So, in closing, here's what I would say. If you go out and do this work, you start to go out and find your premise, your vision, your message, your tribe. At times on that path, because I've just sort of said this is now my life's work, so I get to do this till the day I die. So this is what I'm doing. On that path, the vision can be overwhelming. The Sometimes the people can be slow to move. Sometimes there's all kinds of things that happen on that path. And that can be overwhelming, frustrating, and it might cause you to withdraw for a bit. So my wife and I have a saying about the magic bucket. Like, we just call it the magic bucket. I don't know where we got that, but it's the magic bucket. We're like, when something feels like you don't know how to do it, you don't know what's next, we just call it the magic bucket. You could think of it like, if you're an Abraham Hicks fan, you could think of it like, launching rockets of desire. There's a thing I want. I don't know how to do it, and I'm just going to put it over here for a bit and marinate in the magic bucket. And then I don't have to touch it. I don't have to worry about it. It's just doing what it does. And all the cooperating components of the universe are working to orchestrate whatever that is with where I am. It's the magic bucket. It's a way to just really casually lets me let it go. Because otherwise I'll obsess. If you're task-oriented, you're like, what do I, or if you're a control freak, you might be task-oriented, you might be a control freak, I don't know. But that you just start to go to work on it, like, how do I do it, how do I do it, how do I do it? And the challenge with that took me off course for 10 years, because what I would do is I'd go read books about it, and podcasts about it, and go do programs about it, and hire coaches about it, and I would obsess about the detail, trying to understand every little step I needed to take to make it happen. And it took me out of a posture of surrender, and put me into a posture of control, where I was white-knuckling everything, and that created anxiety, stress, frustration. And it stole a lot of my joy. It stole a lot of my joy of the process and experience of living my life. So, I love the magic bucket. The magic bucket's this place where I just get to take the desire, the vision, and all the things I don't know how they're going to happen, and put them over there. I got this, I had an astrologer who's such a sweet man. He's probably, I don't know, he's in his 70s, and he's been doing this since astrology work since the 80s. And so I get a reading from him a couple times a year, and I'm a Pisces, so he's like, look, this is the Pisces mantra, okay? He said, but I'm going to give it to you. These 7 words here at the bottom, I don't know if you can see them. Trust, surrender, forgive, release, accept, allow, and receive. Those 7 words. So when I'm like at my wit's end about how something's going to happen, I have to come back to this and just go, look, trust, surrender, forgive, release, accept, allow, receive. And I just sort of work through that mantra until I'm in a space that feels aligned and congruent with where I'm at right now, and the magic bucket has the rest. That's it. So this is why I say every one of us is a leader. Everyone is a leader. You may not be leading to the degree you think you should compared to others, or maybe you think you're killing it, I don't know. But what I do know is that if we are the love, light, power, presence of God, then we are that. Then I know there is a greater expression of that available to each of us, right? Because nobody is God incarnate. Nobody is like just killing it right now on the incarnation of it all. There's always another space we can go to, and that's our job as pioneers in consciousness. We came down here, somebody held our beer. We came down here to see what we could do with it, and I think we can do more with it. That's the point. I think we can do more with it. Thank you. Thanks for that.
I knew you were going to kill it, Chris, but you really killed it. That was awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, give him a round of applause. Okay, and now let's prepare for a time of meditation. As we settle into our seats, you can gently close your eyes if that's comfortable, and connect to the presence, the power, and the love of God within you. Just take some time to breathe in and out. Connect to your breath. In many languages, the word breath means spirit. And spirit is breath. So let's become conscious of spirit in our breath as we slowly breathe in and out. Allow this breath of spirit to flow easily and effortlessly, as spirit does, throughout your entire body. Watch it filling your lungs, your stomach, your heart, and every organ and cell of your body. Imagine this breath of spirit as it grounds you to the earth below. Feel your deep connection and roots to Mother Earth, and allow this connection to transport you. Now imagine breathing this light of spirit in and out through your heart space. Imagine your heart opening, receiving the breath of spirit in, and then breathing this breath of spirit out. Feel your heart energize and grow with each and every breath. Now, in your mind's eye, call forth a memory or a person or a time in your life when you were consumed with the feeling of complete and total love. This could be a treasured memory, a time in nature, an accomplishment, a cherished loved one, a beloved child or pet. Picture this memory. Allow this feeling of total and complete presence and love to return to you now. And now allow this feeling of love and appreciation from your heart space to be amplified like a powerful light bulb, radiating in every direction. Imagine this light expanding beyond your body into this room, radiating to each and every heart in it. Together, we are creating a light field of coherence. A field of heart coherence. That envelops this room and everyone in it. Together, we create a field so powerful. It travels at the speed of light, blanketing the entire planet with pure, healing, heart-centered love. Imagine this blanket radiating across the entire planet, touching every heart along the way. Let us take this image of universal light, love, oneness, and connection as we go deeper into the silence. Sweet, loving, divine Spirit, we give thanks for this powerful, collective field of heart coherence that has already transformed our world and everyone in it. And for this, we are so very grateful. And so it is. Amen.
I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. And I am light. I am light. I am not mistakes that I haven't made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left inside. I am light. soul inside is all light. I'm light, and I am light. I am divinity divine. I am God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. I am light. Well, I am light. I am light. I am light. I am. I am light. Oh.
How we all doing? Feeling good. It's been a great service. Thank you again, Chris, for your amazing talk. I'm feeling very heart-centered, so just happy to be here with you all this morning and just feeling the presence of God. So, well, unity stands for peace in the presence of conflict, for love in the presence of hatred, for forgiveness in the presence of injury. Unity honors the many names for God, the many paths to God, for we know that there is only one power, one presence, one life. So whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey of transformation, you are welcome here. We would especially like to welcome anyone who is here for the first time. So if you feel comfortable raising your hand so that we can say hello, that would be great. Anyone here for the first time? Yay. Oh, he's proud. I love it. Oh, and he stands. I love it. Good. Good. Awesome. Well, we'd love to give you a free coffee at our barista stand after services to welcome you here. And if anybody has missed the barista stand and we're new in the past couple of weeks, feel free to get your free coffee as well. That will be open right after services. And also, we want to welcome those who are joining us online for the first time, or anyone that's joining us. And we just encourage you to sign up for our e-newsletter, which, as I mentioned in the announcements, is the way that we send information about events, classes, all the things that are coming up, speakers, etc. So scan that QR code to sign up, or come see me and I can help you. Okay, we'd also love to connect with you on our social media. We are on Instagram and, of course, YouTube and Facebook. So just look for us under Unity Spiritual Center Spokane. Okay, let's see. Let's take a moment now to acknowledge and bless one another with a hug, if you're comfortable with that. High five, air five, socially distanced wave, namaste greeting, or whatever feels most comfortable for you. You can feel free to stand as you are able and send your loving energy to those around you. I'm gonna give you guys 2 minutes. That's it. Chris, that was awesome. I'm gonna give you one more hug. 30 seconds. 30 more seconds, people. Find your seats. We do love to socialize. Need to get the bell. Thank you for doing what you're told. Okay, let's find our seats. I know we could keep doing this all afternoon. You'll have plenty of time after services. Love it, love it, love it. So many connections to make. But now it's time to celebrate abundance together as we share our tithes and love offerings. If you would like to give virtually today, you can text your amount, just the amount, to our text to give number, which is 509-215-2552. And then for those of you in the sanctuary, our ushers will be going around with our love offering bags. So I invite you to hold your offering in your hand, or if you are a monthly giver or giving virtually today, please hold that energy in your heart as we say together our love offering blessing, which is up on the screen. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I give thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. Bless this offering. Dear Spirit, thank you for these gifts and for those who have given them as we send them forward in continued service to our mission of transforming lives and inspiring people to make a positive difference in our world. Thank you, God, and so it is. Amen. Yeah. All right, our chaplains today are Marlene and David, who have been holding the service in prayer for us, either from home or here in the sanctuary. Oh, there's Marlene. Thank you for standing, Marlene. Yes, Marlene will be available to pray with you immediately. Oh, and David, good. Both of you are here. Both of our chaplains will be available to pray with you immediately following the service. So if you have something that is heavy on your heart or that you would like to celebrate, they will both be up here after services to pray with you following the peace song. So please do make yourself available to that, because this is what our chaplains do, and they're so amazing at it. And then if you feel more comfortable having your prayer prayed or your request prayed over privately, we also have prayer requests in the seat pocket in front of you, and you can fill those out and put it in the box in the back, or we have one just around the atrium. So our prayer ministry, we have a very strong prayer ministry. We pray over those for 30 days, and then we send them on to Silent Unity, where they are also prayed over for 30 days. So lots of prayer support here. So thank you, chaplains. And then, let's see, I bet I've heard our children in the background. They're very excited to come in, I think. So let's welcome them in with Walking in the Light.
I'm walking. I am walking in the light, in the light, in the light. I am walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light. I am walking as the light, as the light, as the light. I am walking as the light, as the light of God. As the light, 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 as the light of God.
Hi, guys. How are ya? What did you guys make? It looks like grass.
It's actually palms.
Oh, it's palms from a palm tree. Palm Sunday. Oh, today is Palm Sunday. You're not finished. It's okay. Okay, well, happy Palm Sunday, everybody. You can tell we really celebrate it here. Awesome. So let's take a moment now to bless all of our amazing young people and those in service to our youth ministry with our children's blessing. Together, be the love you are, sing the song you hear, share your joy of life with people far and near. And for ourselves, be the love we are, sing the song we hear, share our joy of life with people far and near. Awesome. Okay, now you guys can go find the people you came with, if you'd like. I love it. I love it. Everybody found their person? Did you find your person? Do you have your person? Oh, okay, just making sure. Oh, yeah. Okay, awesome. Love it, love it. Love the energy of kids. Okay, so now let's stand as we are able and join together in our closing prayer for protection, followed by the peace song. Together we affirm, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The presence of God folds us. The love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And that's the truth.